Chris here. Today I want to discuss something, or a video in reply to Dark Avenger 86. He had just recently made a video about a video more for newbies and how to get into comics and how do they collect and all that kind of stuff. So he posed the question at the end of his video, basically kind of how did we get into comic books, and how do we choose to collect. So that's what I'm going to show you guys, just give you a little insight on what I like to collect, how I collect, and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. So first, as most subscribers would know, I'm mostly Marvel and a huge Wolverine fan. With Wolverine as well, I'd say he's more of an anti-hero, and I've always been more drawn to anti-heroes. I think a lot of anti-heroes were in the 90s and things like that, late 80s and 90s when I was growing up, and just the stories that were told were just great that I was getting into. The first comic books I actually first got into, and the ones that got me reading though, some people may know this, is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures that was published by Archie Comics, and that only went for 72 issues. But I live in a very small town, wasn't even a town, as a hamlet, only hundreds of people. And at the one shop on Main Street, the grocery store, they sold Archie comic books, and the TMNTs were there. So I think they're only like $1.25 to $1.50 or something like that at the time. So my mom, I was always getting her to buy those for me. Give me that month only $1.50 or whatever. And I was into the TV show as well. So I had a growing, for the 80s stuff, the Turtles, but also martial arts, that kind of thing too. So that's how I got started. And sometime I would really like to show you guys I have the whole issue set of the TMNTs, 1 through 72. And I was actually excited. I think it was almost a couple years ago now. They were going to publish a story in a 3 to 5 issue series, where the old series ended and they already had a story arc kind of planned, and it never got published. So it was like 15 years later, after that Archie story ended, they were going to publish this story. And they gave some ads, some hypes, the dates changed, and stuff like that, and then it never came to fruition, which is, I got very sad about that. I would love to see that old story again. So if you guys, Mirage or whoever, yeah, we want to see that story, that 15, 16-year-old story now published. That's what got me started in comics. I want to see it. So what else? So mostly Wolverine and anti-hero comic books I tend to get. Just the emotion, the storytelling, I think it really, I don't know, I kind of relate to that sort of thing. The emotion that they have is very strong, whether love or hate, and the things that they tend to do with the things that are thrown at them. It's one of those little things that darken your mind. You kind of really want to go, like, if you see somebody hurting a child or something like that, there's a difference between what your good guy superhero and your anti-hero would do. And me as a father, something like that, I probably want to take more of the side of the anti-hero, what he would do to the bad guy. So that just how they go about their business works on me. So mostly right now I would say I have Bronze to Modern Age stuff. I like to collect some variants of just comics I really like. Here's a Doc and Dark Wolverine #1. And I keep my comic books in the Ultra Pro bags and boards, or I think this is a Comic Care board, but I think those bags are the perfect. They keep them just nice and tight. They don't flop around as much. I think I like that. Sometimes on the back too, I will either do 1 tape or 3. If I got the time, most of the time I would do 3 tapes, just to keep this really nice and flat, and keep, once it's pressed, that the air won't come back in as much, or any dirt or water contaminants. Just keep it a little more tight. And of course, silver-sized books. Get the silver-sized graphic novels as well. I will keep in silver-sized bags. as you guys see here too, I have this whole shelf I've shown you guys before, but I'll probably show it again when I'm in the new house. But these boxes, the short boxes, I like using short boxes. I have a long box, I have the magazine size, I've tried them all kind of thing, the different sizes anyways, and I prefer the short boxes. A way to stack them, it's always kind of gone back and forth on how to do that, but what I finally settled on now, when I'm stacking my books, because when you stack them, as Dark Avenger was saying, his name is Chris as well, most of the time he's saying he's not using backboards or whatever when he's storing them. But anyways, when you store comic books and they're sitting flat like this, or just, you know, cover to cover, the spine is slightly thicker than this end. So if they're getting stacked, actually the stack will get slightly bigger on the side of the spine. So then when you get to the end of your box, you know, you'll have some more room actually on this side, if anybody's noticed that. But so what I will do when I'm putting them in, I'll put in like this, put one in like that in the box like that, and put to the back, just that the spine keeps flipping from side to side, so you get the most I don't know, even fit, and you might be able to fit a few more comic books. Or I'll stack, you know, like 5 or 6 of them, something like that, and then flip. You know, so I just keep flipping so that the spine is all more even. That's how I'm storing them. A lot of people will store according to title or character, that kind of thing. I don't know, I try to do mostly character, but over the years it's gotten really disorganized, so as of late it's more by date. So, and as you see here, you guys, I have this shelf which I'd gotten from a clearance sale at Movie Gallery. All the new releases coming in, I'll put here, or my nice variants, and then once this is kind of filled up, put them into a box. So I know from, say, if I started this shelf at January, you know, say I fill it up, you know, till October. So I know from January to October, I'll have those comic books, and I'll mark them down on a sheet of paper or a backboard, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using backboards, and I'll slip them at the end of the box and just write down what's in there, so I kind of have an idea, and if I know either what kind of titles or the year to date. And so these comic books here, my beautiful sweet, haha Scott, I have one of these. Such a shame. Oh, I shake my fist at you for having that giant-sized X-Men #1. I will get my copy though. Some of these more expensive comic books I will try to place, or ones that I really like, want to keep more pristine, I will keep in these harder cases. This is a bronze-sized one. I got a couple of these other sized ones when I actually bought the Fantastic Four 587. And these ones for a modern age. As you can see, they're slightly smaller. And then I have these other hard cases. They're kind of like I don't know, like a CD case, like a jewel case. And I think they're pretty cool. Kind of have a spot here you can slip a little bit of tape and paper in there or something, and just mark what's significant about the issue. And this is a Wolverine Origins issue #2 Canadian variant. That one costed near $100, so yeah, definitely want to keep it in the hard case. But really cool, or if you want to take these to conventions or something like that, and you want to keep that comic book really in good shape while you're there, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about my collection and how I collect, but that's basically it. I try to also have them, as you can see from the shelf, off the ground and away from outside walls if I can. This one is near an outside wall, but there's a good frost barrier in between. hopefully at the new house we'll be moving into soon, taking possession of the 18th. I should be able to have some room to take my comics away from an outside wall, because of course you guys know there's moisture and humidity is a big deal in collecting, and I know in my house, the new one we just bought, eventually I'll have to start storing downstairs, and I'll have to think about investing in a dehumidifier, things like that to keep them a little bit better. But yeah, I try to keep them in as best shape as I can, and maybe, you know, get some comic books that are really worth something, and I want to pass them down. Just as Chris was saying himself about passing his comic book collection down to his children, that's what I would definitely love to do too. Of course, again, if they really like comic books and they're gonna keep them for a long time and they're gonna treat them just as well as I did. So that'd be a really cool thing too. I also do collect the blank variants as well. I have gone to a few conventions just in Calgary, hopefully wanting to get to this year's to see Mike Mignola. That'd be really cool, and get him to do some drawing and sign some stuff for me. Yeah, so I don't know, that's about that, you guys. I don't know if I got anything else to say on how I collect, but if you guys have any questions for me as a comic book collector, or want to know any more about my collection, just let me know. So that's that. We'll see you guys later. Bye.